And we're live. So, hello, welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live with myself, Paul, and Jenny from Host for Ghosts. You have Angela from South Coast Ghosts, Luke, one of the investigators, are there. And then we have a very, very special guest tonight talking about haunted doll, Eerie Encounters. So, welcome, Eerie Encounters. Welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live with us. So, we hope you all had a great weekend and you're all safe and well and good investigations. We had a quiet weekend for a change. We're sort of quietening down a little bit now. We have got things coming up which we're in negotiations with, but obviously we can't say on here. So what we're doing is few investigations, so it takes a bit of time. So we may be out and about. I think I'm out and about at the end of the month somewhere. Unicorn Theatre, I think it is. I'm not sure. I think it's the Unicorn. Is that the one at the end of the month? Right, so we're there for the first time. So I've done one theatre, Barn Theatre in Oxted. I did when Host for Ghosts run one there. So we're looking forward to that, to getting out and about a bit. We had some good EVPs. We were at Fort Brockhurst a couple of weeks ago doing a charity paranormal night for the English Heritage, which we had a great, great night. So thank you, everybody that came. And it was a good night. Started off a little bit slow, but it's got some great evidence to go through. Got guttural laughs and shouts and all sorts of, just found on my voice recorder. So when I get time, I'll ping them over to Andrew and we can play them to you, see what you think. So that's all that done. So welcome, Eerie Encounters, to Paranormal Monday Night Live. It's great to have you with us. It's
great to be here.
It's a few weeks to get you on, but we're here. We've done it. We're finally on.
Hello, you.
Hello. So what you're deep. So what we'll do, we'll ask Eerie Encounters to just go through a few questions. So if you have any questions for her, just ping them on the screen and Angela will put them through and we can put them to Emily. She'll probably see them anyway, but just, come send your comments in and we'll try and answer them. So welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live, as again. So how did you get started into the paranormal world?
So I think when I was very young, I was always into something. I was never really a girl that grew up with Barbies and things like that. I was always into something different. I would get bored easy of playing with normal toys and stuff like that. And to be fair, I don't really know how it come about. I just took an interest. It wasn't something like I'd watched on telly. It wasn't anything like that. It was just an interest. I think I heard my granddad used to talk to my nan about things when he used to go around their weekends and stuff like that. And I was 7 years old, I think, when my nan, my dad's mum, bought me my first ever paranormal book. And my mum at the time went spare. She was like, "What are you buying her that for?" And she was like, "Well, she's into it. She talks about it a lot." I was 7 years old. Like, I don't know what it was really about. And I think as time got on, it was always something I stuck to. So I've got bored of things like toys and Barbies and stuff like that. But the paranormal was always something from a very young age I stuck to. I just stuck to it. I've never got bored of it. Never. And the things that my granddad used to tell me and stuff like that used to fascinate me so much. I'd sit there at my granddad's and my nan's the weekend with my jaw down to the floor because of what would just be said, because I just took it all in like a sponge. And yeah, the things that we used to talk about, and it just absolutely fascinated me. And then as time went on, my first ever family home we lived in, we moved out of there. I think I must have been about 10. and we moved into our second family home, and that was in fact haunted. And that was haunted by a vicar, Mr. Seller. And he basically he lived there with his wife. I'm not sure if they had children or anything, but the only reason why we found this out was because of the neighbour next door told us, and I overheard. And what it was, the guy actually that lived there with his wife, being a vicar, fell down the stairs and hit his head. And just where the front door was, you had pipes, and he hit his head on the pipes. Well, he went into hospital, and he ended up dying in hospital a couple of weeks later. So his wife gave up the house, she moved, and so on. And there was actually, in fact, when we moved in, it didn't feel like a happy family home. It didn't feel comfortable. It didn't feel, there was always going to be something that went on, and it just felt eerie. So as we moved in and we got over at time and stuff like that to be there longer, we started noticing things in the household and stuff like that. And I think just from then my interest just grew. I noticed that I'm not very good with words.
No, you're right. You're doing all right. Don't you worry. You're doing well. So you went from there, and then. So what was your first investigation? I know you do. You've done a local graveyard near where we live, because I don't live far from Emily. She's not far from me, and yet we've never met, but we've spoken on the phone all the time, didn't we? Backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards.
Yeah, we have.
So what was your first actual investigation? Hi. Welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live. So what was your first actual investigation? Did you go to the graveyard, the very famous graveyard near us? So that is, I can't remember the name of it, I'm pretty sure it's St. Luke's, isn't it? St. Lawrence's.
St. Lawrence's, sorry. That's the one.
It's part of the asylum, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah. So I done there, and I only, at the time, I didn't have a lot of equipment, so I only ever had cat balls. I never had EMFs. I never had all the devices I got now. And it was just cat balls and talking. And the cat balls that would go off there was insane. And then obviously over time I started doing a few more churches and stuff like that. And from there I just started investigating more. And then just lately I've been going out with my best friend Ali, and we've been doing other places like Finchley Avenue, which is in London, and we've done St. Stephen's house, and that was amazing. That was great.
What did you encounter in there then, in the house in Finchley?
So it was a bit quiet to start with. I think everything had to warm up. So we were taken around by some guides that worked there, showed us around. So they had their intros for just over an hour. They sat in the room with us. They started talking about what room had what ghost in and who belonged there. And then they got us to do table tipping and getting comfortable, asking the ghost questions and putting things on the floor and asking them to come forward and make a noise. And then after about an hour or so, we then managed to go off and investigate each room that we'd been to with somebody that worked there on our own. And me and Ali had actually gone down into the cellar, which back then was used as a mortuary back in the war.
Oh, wow.
So we sat down there, and it was only me and Ali on our own. We were in the pitch black dark, and I've got my head torch on, and I've just put it on for a minute, and we've seen where the balls and that are. But what the most frightening thing was, is they prepared for Halloween, and there was dummies everywhere. Everywhere you looked. I wasn't scared of the ghosts. It was the dummies that were there staring at us indirectly. I had a witch over here. We had someone getting their head severed off, there. And, So, but it was a great experience. We had the balls go off. I mean, I've got a infrared Range Rover with the lights that would come off when you touched it at the front, and then at the back when you touched it, it all ran forward. So that happened. But yeah, it was an astonishing night. I won't forget
it. Good. Andrew, do you have a question for her?
I did have, and I've forgotten it. Right. I remember it. I should have written it down on pen and paper here.
You normally do, don't you? You're normally really well prepared. Luke, do you have a question?
Yeah. How did you get into collecting the dolls?
That was
to be honest.
Oh,
that's it. So this is I'm not going to be a long shot on this because I don't want to bore anyone. Like,
No,
you know,
no,
obviously. But basically, my first ever haunted doll. Can I get her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this doll here, I bought 4.5 years ago now. So about the same time that my dad passed away. And my dad passed away in February 2021, and I got her in March or April, I got her. And all it was is after my dad passed, my dad wouldn't have things like this in the house. And it's not because he was against it or didn't believe it. I think it really, truly, it creeped him out a bit.
Yeah.
Because things used to happen in the flat he lived in. And believe me, I felt like he didn't quite like it. So I used to go on about haunted dolls when I lived with my dad. And he used to say to me, don't you dare bring anything like that into this house, otherwise you're out. So I waited until my dad passed away and I bought Chloe. And Chloe has been with me now, as I say, 4.5 years. And when I first got Chloe, the ball's going off under the...
Yeah, I could see.
See the flashing, got you?
Yeah.
So I got Chloe and she's 18 years old. She had dwarfism. She died on an operating theatre and stuff like that, having an operation on her back. But I got her out of the interest, not because I didn't believe in it, because I always have. I just wanted evidential proof after my dad passed. So Chloe provided that on the very first night I got her. So I got Chloe the same day that my EVP device was delivered. And I kept on and on and on at this poor doll. And believe me, the evidence I got was amazing. My neighbours even heard. We recorded her, me and my sister, one night. That same night we got her. And I kept on, and the ball kept flash, 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 flash. It would not stop. So we put the recorder on and we spoke. And my sister, we had to listen back to it a few good times.
Yeah.
And this is going to sound daft, but my neighbours will be my witness. You could hear her, she whispers. And all you could hear was, Emily, you'll be fine. Let me be yours. And that was it.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
After she'd done that, my sister, we had to sit and listen to it. And once you heard it, you couldn't unhear it. And I showed my neighbours and they were in disbelief. And I was like, ugh. And no one wanted to come in my house. And I was like, that's fine. I don't like people in here anyway. You know, I don't have to share my tea and coffee. That's great. And to be honest, Jen, she was just bought because after my dad died, I just thought I needed more proof.
Yeah.
And she provided that for me, this doll, and she's been my grief doll for that time. So that's how she come about. It's not long after my dad died. She's my very first haunted doll.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
That's good. You remembered your question, Angela, or?
Yeah, it was the same one Luke asked.
Oh. Luke, you robbed her of it. What's going on, man?
What made you start collecting more dolls?
I think just over time, as I had Chloe.
You can see a cat ball going off behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is, what one's that? That is Cassie. That is one of my new ones. I think it was more for the fact that the more I had, the better response I would get with them all being together. Like, I like to think really they're not lonely.
Yeah.
I've had Chloe for 4.5 years on her own. She come with 2 other vessels that I didn't get on with, and one went to someone on TikTok, and another one went to my neighbour just across like literally across from me. And I just didn't connect with them. With Chloe, she flashed straight away. You could hear her talk on the thing. You know, she was a direct doll for me, and that was it. I fell in love with her. A little while ago, I did send her off. I can't say who I sent them off to, and it wasn't great. And she wasn't treated fairly. So I asked for her back after 4 months of her being gone, and I really missed her. Really missed her. So I got her back, and after I got her back, I just started getting more and more. And the more I got, the more she had more response over time, because she become very quiet. And I think the longer you have your vessels, the quieter they get. So when you bring other vessels in, you know, it could be another vessel touching the ball. I don't know. But it just seems that they've all got their own ball on their lap, and whoever's there will communicate with me. And that's who I see that's there with the ball.
Yeah.
But she's been flashing and communicating more.
Do you think that she communicates with the one that you gave away across the hallway, or to your neighbour? Do you think she communicates with that?
I mean, they might well do, but I think with where I lost that connection, I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't know if she wanders the halls. I've had neighbours turn around and tell me they've had taps on the shoulders, and they all blame my dolls. Every single neighbour will blame my dolls. And I always say to them, if anyone's going to get any activity, it won't be you, it'll be me. You know. But I don't know.
Do you, Luke? Have you ever tried doing that, like what she does, putting cat balls on the laps of your dolls, Luke?
Yeah, I did in the past, but the batteries kept dying. The batteries in the balls.
They are a pain.
Yeah.
They are a pain because once they go out, it's fidgety to change the battery. So I end up throwing the whole lot away and just buying a whole bag.
Yeah.
Instead, I use these little lights instead.
Which one's that, mate?
Where is it? Let's do that.
Yeah. They work like the mag light, don't they? The mag torch. Yeah. They're cool, they are.
Hi, Dora. Are you not scared that they can come with bad attachments? That's from Dora, one of our lead investigators.
Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, when you buy a haunted doll, you get a description of negative and demonic and, positive and stuff like that. And I think when you're buying a haunted doll or a vessel, you have to really look into the background of it all, and the goodness of them, they could be bad, they could be good, they could be neutral, they could be negative. And I think before you buy a doll, do your research. Because I think if, like, I bought a doll from a charity shop a little while ago and I give it away because I didn't know. I come home with it and it started flashing the ball, and that when I asked, and I was like, well, I don't know if it's good or positive or bad or anything like that. So I ended up giving that away to my neighbour, who took it straight back to a charity shop. But because I know who they are and the stories they come with, and I know they're positive and what I'm buying, I'm comfortable. But I've never had anything bad happen. And I've had Chloe 4.5 years, so she's the one I've had longest.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you find you're more attached to Chloe than the others, or
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you've got
She
more.
She was more for the grief of after I lost my dad.
Right. Yeah.
So I've got that attachment, and she obviously proved to me that there was so much more, and that's when I got attached to her, and I only sent her away briefly because I give her away. I didn't sell her. I actually give her to someone, and it was more because I didn't think I had time for her and she deserved better. And I got like that. I missed her. I cried. I would see her on lives, and I was like, I can't do this. She needs to come home. And I bawled, and luckily she got sent home. But yeah, she didn't communicate with me. I think it took 12 weeks before she flashed her ball again.
Jonathan Shaw says, would you buy one with a little to no history?
No. I've been given dolls, so a lot of my dolls, there's about 5 or 4 of them on my shelf that I've got. They're all classed as, they're all down as positive when I buy them, even though you work out a lot of it for yourself. So a lot will come with stories and some don't. But the ones that haven't got the stories, I'll sit there and I'll work with, because I know they're positive. I'm happy to do that. But if I've got a doll that I don't know that's positive or anything like that, I won't go near it, because I do have 2 young kids in the house.
Would you take one on an investigation with you?
I have.
You have? All right.
Little Ruth up there, that one you see in the middle, and the little rocking horse. I don't know if you can see her. She come with me to St. Luke's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I wouldn't do it again.
You wouldn't?
No, because at the end of the day, they're vulnerable. So spirits are vulnerable. So they're like us still. I mean, when you're asleep, and you say, for an instance, you practice, what do you call it? Astral projection.
Oh, yeah.
And you're asleep.
Travel.
And anybody can take over your body. So it's the same with a spirit doll. You take that into a graveyard, they can't protect themselves. Anything can jump into that spirit and that doll. So I don't do it. I only did it once, and I'll never do it again.
That's good. That's a good idea. Andrew, do you have a question, or Luke?
Yeah. Have you ever seen any of them move, or do they tend to move other things?
No. So Chloe, when I first got Chloe, she flicked a ball up in the air, I think the week that I had her, and it was sitting on her lap, and the ball has literally just gone up like that, spun and come back down. and that's the only time I see a ball ever do that. Other than that, Ruth the other night got a ball and it fell off the shelf. And I had Maggie, one of my new ones that's on a swing. When I had her sitting up on my unit, I see her push the ball too hard when I asked her, and it spun and fell to the floor. But other than that, I've never seen them move.
How about you, Luke? Have you seen any of yours move?
Yeah, they seen him fall over by himself. If somebody fall over sometimes, yeah.
Just gonna put Chloe back.
Yes, okay. Take your time. Doris sent comment in. Have you ever find that you found any doll in different places than before when you went to bed? So have they swapped places basically?
Never. Never.
They've sat where they're told to sit.
Still early days.
They're like being at school. You stay in your desk and that's where you stay.
They get told. And if I go and stay at my sister's, they get told to stay here, because when I go to my sister's, I have my camera just up in the corner there, and I leave everything on: motion detection, person detection, camera tampering. I leave it all on. So when I'm not here, hence the reason why my footage on like a lot of my TikTok, you can see, and I'm not about. And if the ball flashes, the camera will move and it will show a person or a detection or an apparition. So, yeah.
What we'll do, we'll go to a video if Angela's ready, and then you can we'll watch the video and then you can just explain the circumstances behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's coming up.
Yeah, bear with me.
Yeah.
Just out. No, stop. Full screen. And now I have to. It's too technical, this is.
You do better than I would.
Share screen. Okay. We're nearly there.
So this is one of the videos Eerie Encounters sent over to us tonight to show you some of her evidence. So watch it.
Not the apparitions from we believe to be Chloe.
Can't see it.
No, you can't see it, no.
No. You can't see it?
No.
Make the car come forward. Oh. Right, well, you can do that again. You can hear it.
Yeah.
But you can't see anything.
Don't worry.
Okay.
So just tell us a bit about that. It was a clip with you had your like REM pod car and bits on the table, wasn't it?
Yeah, so for that day we took down the date, and we didn't know. I mean, it was only Chloe and Ruth I had at the time, and we didn't quite know if it was a birthday, a death day, if it was something, important to them or one of them. And I had all my devices on the table. And I had a lot of people trying to debunk it and that, because there was devices for batteries and a K2 meter that just flickers and goes off and things like that. But my sister was here with me, and we sat them up at the table on this one particular day that we noted down in our diary, just happened to go off. And the car, people tried debunking my car. Now, it is from Get Tech Paranormal. The car is actually censored from touch from the back and touch from the front. So if you touch it at the front, the lights will go off. If you touch it at the back, the car will zoom off. Only by touch. This particular day, the car was being touched from the front, it was being touched from the back, and it just zoomed off the table and was active as anything. And it was the first ever. Yeah. It was all going off.
Yeah.
It was just like a party in there,
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Poppy's barking I think Poppy's barking at a ghost.
Oh, probably. Dogs are susceptible.
Yeah, she is. She always barks at something. There's no one there, so I just thought I'd have a look.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your next investigation? What one are you going to next?
I'm not sure if I can say. I probably won't say. I don't know. I've forgotten the name of it now.
It's a secret, isn't it?
Yes, it's a secret. I can't say absolutely anything. But when I do the investigation, obviously, and I get snippets and clips of it, I don't think I can go live. I probably won't go live. but I will put snippets of it up, of like what I did with St. Stephen's House eventually. But other than that, I'm just going to go and enjoy the night to myself with my friends, and it's going to be great. But I definitely want to show people what we caught and what we get. But yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, definitely. Come back on here with your evidence and stuff, and we can play it here.
Absolutely.
I know where you're going, and it's quite a great place.
Yeah,
it's a very interesting place, even though it's a secret.
Yes, yes. Come on, Paul.
Luke, do you have a question for her?
Have you ever played like some music to the dolls and they react to it?
Do you know what? I don't think I ever have. I mean, I've got one doll here that apparently loves music, so I'm yet to try. But no, I've had music on, but then when I'm kind of in the jam and I'm doing my cleaning and one of them flashes, I don't really look. I'm like, well, they must like it because they'll flash or say if I caught them from the corner of my eye. But no, that's a good question, though. I might try that, Luke.
Yeah.
Do yours react to music then, Luke?
Yeah, this one did. Here, that one did.
Right.
Oh.
How did that react to the music then?
I was playing like 1950s rock and roll music, and she turned the light on. So she must have liked it. She doesn't usually like the light. Doesn't usually light the light up usually.
Do you think it's because she's from, or is it a he or a she?
Yeah, she's from America.
Did you think it's because she died in them times?
Yeah, Virginia, her name is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
And is that doll, like Emily, like the saying, from 1950s? Do you know the history on it? Like Emily was saying, she reads up and make sure that that you get a good history on the doll. Do you know the history of that doll, Luke?
Only not a little bit, not too much. I'm not sure about the year, but I reckon it could be the 1950s.
Especially if it reacted, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. If it's reacted to music, then obviously it's a song it's remembered, or it's a time that they were in before they passed.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah. Andrew, do you have a question?
Yeah. Do you think the dolls sort of know about each other, like they know they're there and can communicate between themselves?
Honestly, I'm glad you've asked that, because I've sat here now today. I had 3 dolls on the shelf go off all after the next. And I've sat there, and a lot of them I've had in age order, now not so much. But I sit there and I'm like, Kelly, are you with Sophie, or Sophie, are you with blah, blah, blah? And they are flash, not all the time. But the only reason how I think I know this before that happened tonight is because Chloe and Ruth were the 2 dolls that I had on their own together before I got any other doll. So when I used to ask Ruth and Chloe was quiet, and this was weird, and I wish to God I had caught it on camera, and I'd never get it out quick enough. And I said to Ruth, is Chloe with you? Because she's gone. If you can go and get Chloe within 10 minutes, Chloe's ball flashed.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So it's like she went and fetched her, but them 2 are like, they just go off.
Wow. I like that.
Yeah.
That's
another question.
Weird.
Jonathan Shaw's, but have any of you investigated new buildings? I've done a house that's 10 years old, if that's what you mean by a new building. And that was interesting because that was to do with curtains being tied up and cushions being placed on certain places and keys missing. It took about I suppose, all in all, the investigation and getting the information and getting the answers, about 9 months was that investigation. And Angela will know the one in Colchester, like Luke. We did. It was a private house. If you mean sort of within 10 years, I've not done a brand new house, but it's not always the house. It could be the ground.
Yeah. It's like this place. It's a brand new flat, brand new 2-bedroom flat when I moved into it 5 years ago, nearly 5. Well, I'll say 5.5 years ago now. And if it wasn't haunted back then, it bloody well is now.
It would be all them dolls, yeah.
You know?
And that ain't
so
in the land
people are
either.
going to love it here.
You won't be allowed to move out. They'll say, no, you've got to stay.
They'd be chasing me, wouldn't they?
Well, they just won't let you open the door. You'll be stuck trying to pull on the.
I just won't swap, you know. They don't know who I am.
No. And would you tell someone you had haunted dolls in there if they come to view it?
No. No, I let the fun begin when they move in. You know,
they'll just call you back.
No. Yeah.
Can you come back and have a look at this flat? Because we think something's going on.
It's too late now. I've got my nice new house. No.
Do you watch many paranormal programs on the TV?
Yeah. Luke's Top 5 I watched a lot of, but he hasn't posted a lot recently. Slap Tam, that's repeated though a lot sometimes, but I love Slap Tam. Luke's Top 5 was good, but I think he's not been well. But I haven't been on there recently. And then there's Grandma's Nightmare. I watched quite a few.
Do you find the dolls interact when you're watching the program?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I've sat here and watched things, and you sit there and you watch Slap Tam, and you know how he is. Have you ever watched Slap Tam?
Yeah.
This is Slap Tam, you know, and he's like, this is,
Very
you know,
American,
and someone finds something unexpected and all this, and then like the dolls, I have had the dolls flash the ball, yeah.
Oh wow.
You know, when he sits there and goes, it's absolutely terrifying. And, you know, one of them sitting there in a flash, you know, that's terrifying.
He's got a very strange voice, isn't he, that Slap Tam?
Yeah.
It's very odd. Jonathan Shaw's put, that is what I was thinking. My building I work has intelligent lighting that has been triggered emotionally. A zone woke up, but no one was there. I think, answer your question, really, from all of us, you know, people assume that it's the building that's haunted, and it's not always the building, it's the land it's built on. You know, we don't know what's in the land. You know, many years ago, they would have just knocked gravestones over and just built straight over the top of the land. I mean, which is probably what's happening in lots of locations. But a lot of people make the mistake thinking, oh, it's in the building, it's in the building. But, you know, we investigating in the building or on the land, we're looking to look back at the land, the history of the land, where it's built, when it was built, who built it. You know, lots of things to investigate. You know, with you say new builds, you know, motion sensor lights. Okay, they can't really trigger by it being a breeze through. So it's obviously detected some sort of movement within its range. You know, whether it's 1 meter, 2 meters away from it.
Yeah, completely agree.
I don't know, you know, if anybody else is watching here has a different opinion, then that's fine, you know, let us know. But motion sensors, I mean, I use laser tripwires when I'm out and about, really. And we've also used, you can buy motion sensors with doorbells. There's somebody crossing, they go ding dong, they actually ring, you know, and they're very accurate. They're very, very good motion sensors. You know, if you want to buy a cheap trigger object or something, then they're ideal, you know, to use. Andrew or Luke, do you have a question for her? Or can you play another video? Or
I won't even try another video.
Right, okay.
Fair enough.
Another question about the doll.
I'm terrible with technology. I don't even know how I upload pictures, to be honest.
If you have guests there, do the dolls interact or show that they know that there's someone else there?
Yeah, so I had a friend here a few years ago, and she was sitting on the tables and chairs with me and my sister, and we was talking. I think it was about 3 years ago now, and I think it was Chloe, because it was only Chloe I had then, and the ball kept going and going and going, and she was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "It's just Chloe interacting with you." She was like, I said, "I'll tell you what," I said, "let's all sit quietly." We sit at the table, and I said, "And I'll get the recorder." We sat there, and you could hear Chloe whispering over what we were saying. Couldn't quite make out what she was saying, but you could hear someone else in the room, and she run.
Oh, did she?
And she's like, "We're not friends now." So yeah, yeah. So. I've lost friends, but never mind.
I think we could all go with that.
More.
I think as one goes, another one arrives, doesn't it? So
exactly, you know.
what's meant to be won't pass you by.
Exactly that. I completely agree. You know, at the end of the day, I see it as like, all right, you know, people aren't always going to like it, and that's fair enough. You know,
No.
you can't force people to like it, and I don't. And I think I've always stated that quite clearly in my videos when I do my TikToks and that, you know, not everybody's going to believe it, and that's fine. And I
Yeah,
think
of
unless
course.
you really have that experience for yourself, and then you'll be able to tell someone, well, actually, you know, you'll have a different view on it. But everybody's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you? Would you say you're still skeptical? Or would you say you're a full believer?
I'm a full believer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My sister seen my dad's shadow on my wall
Oh wow.
about 2 months after he had passed. And
Oh wow.
I was in the other room sitting in there with my eldest son at the time before I had my youngest. And my sister was sitting up at my table, which was over there at the time. And she said if she hadn't have looked up when she did, she would have missed it. She said, and she saw what looked like the outline. She said the shadow of my dad. Now, bearing in mind, this wall cannot reflect anything from out there.
Yeah.
So this wall, she said she looked up and she looked up just on time, like it was meant to happen. She said she seen my dad's side profile with his head slightly down. She said, and it was his shape, and he just glided, and he was gone within seconds.
Did she find that comforting?
Yeah, it didn't scare her. Don't scare
No.
us, because where I think we've lived in a haunted house before, and then
Yeah.
obviously we've had stories and that from our families, and my dad's side of the family's always been very into it. And
Yeah.
my granddad told us a ghost story years ago from, do you know Tandridge Churchyard?
Sandridge, yeah.
St. Peter's, I think it is.
Oh yeah.
And my granddad was saying years and years ago up there was 2 grave diggers there years ago, and they were digging a grave, and one of them went off to go and get his lunch, and he said, look, I'm going to go off and go and get my lunch. He was like, yeah, go on, lad. He was like, go and sit in the, you know, in the truck and that. He was like, go and eat your lunch and I'll meet you back here. And say, what, half an hour. And as this bloke was walking down to go to sit down and eat in his truck, a woman approached him from nowhere and just said, are you digging that grave for me? And he went, no, love. And he went, no, don't be silly. And she just walked off. And he went down, had his lunch. He come back an hour later, and he said to his workmate, he was like, did you see that nutty old bag? He went, that just come past me. He went, did you see her? He went, no. He went, well, she would have walked straight past you. She asked me if you were digging that grave for her. And he went, no, no one. And it happened to actually be a lady called Mrs. Seller that lived in Tandridge, and that's a true story.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It just shows you, doesn't it?
Yeah. But he said she didn't hover, didn't float, just looked normal as day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
And that's how people describe an apparition, isn't it? Got a
Absolutely.
picture, but Luke, does your cat interact with your dolls?
No, she doesn't really know.
Or she ignores them, or?
Well, they're all upstairs, really, in my room. Yeah.
All right.
You
I don't
keep
know
her
how you
out
could
of
keep.
there, the cat.
I don't know how you could keep them in your room, Luke. Honestly.
That's right. Yeah.
Mine are in my front room.
Yeah. Your bedroom's your sacred place.
Once I go to bed, my door's shut. I even shut that door, believe it or not. I don't have it wide open, because if I hear any footsteps when I'm here on my own with the kids, I'm under the duvet and I can't do nothing, and that's it. I'm scared for life. So I shut the door. That's it. You know.
We are funny as investigators, aren't we? We hear footsteps and we run. We hide.
It's weird because we're so into it, and yet you're there and you're on it, and you can love it one minute and you can be the next. you know what I was going to say. Well, I won't say it, but yeah, it is, and I think it's more of, you know, we know what's coming because we've heard it and experienced it before, and then when something does happen again and things like that, it does scare you.
Yeah. I think it does. You know, as much as you go prepared on an investigation, and we've all done many investigations, you're so prepared for it, and then when it happens, you do actually panic. That it's just all hell breaks loose, but you go there prepared for something to happen, and then you think, well, what's going on? You know, why am I running?
Well, I had my first investigation, as I said, with Ali, my friend, and I had my backpack on, I had my hiking shoes that I just bought, I got all my gear, and I was like, I'm pumped, I'm ready to go, like, let's do this. And I got there, and we sat in the cellar downstairs, which was a mortuary, and I sat there, and he was like, hello, Ali, because my friend don't care. And I was like, yeah, hello. you know, it was a different vibe, you know.
It takes on a different persona, doesn't it, at night?
Yeah.
Graham Bentley, one of our regular viewers and people we love. He had great EVPs. He's put, how many dolls do you have?
27
Whoa. I wasn't expecting that.
and counting.
Wow.
I've got to get another 2 shelves yet for the NX ball, and then I'll be adding more. So
When do we call it a day then?
yeah, I'm
How
planning to
many?
get to 100.
100?
Yeah, because what it is, this is going to sound really weird. Now, obviously, a lot of the dolls that I get are from people that have passed away, such as, you know, people that have had them for years and they've not sold them and kept them in their family and life for years. So then that gets passed down to the daughter or the grandchild or whoever. And if you're into the paranormal, keep them, they're yours. If you're not, sell them. And in a way, that's a little bit of an investment for my kids if they're not into the paranormal. And they can sell them individually with their stories and so forth.
Yeah.
So I see it as a bit of an investment for them if they're not into it. But if they're into it, they're theirs. They can have them.
And do they interact with the children?
Yeah.
They do.
But obviously, where I've had to warn people before, because I've had people say, well, you've got kids, come on, you know, they're susceptible to it. And they are, being young, they are susceptible. I mean, I've had my 2-year-old jump up on my lap and look in my hallway scared out of his wit. And I've sat there and I thought, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? This and that. And it wasn't like a scared, like a panic scared. It was how do you say it? Like an inquisitive.
Right, yeah.
Like, you know, it's not like he
Intrigue.
see it and it's not like he see it and he scared himself to the point of like shaking.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like you just see what was there. And he just looked at me and he cried, and he was scared out of his wit. But
Yeah.
I sit there and I think, well, if it was anything really bad, he would have acted far worse.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, I have had people say to me, well, you got kids and that and stuff like that. But I think because of the history of dolls being a positive and they're in the household, I have to be careful with what I'm bringing in. So I won't have things like the boxes. I won't have demonic and I won't have negative. I have to think of the children and what I bring into the house.
Yeah.
You don't bring a stranger from outside into your home and not know who they are. I have to know who they are and know their story before they even come into this house.
And do the owners contact you, or do you
No,
go
a
looking
lot of them
for?
follow me on TikTok, and a lot of, I mean, a lot of the dolls that I get are all on eBay. And I've got to know the sellers over the time. And if anyone really wants to go and have a look, there's Dolls Mum, and then there's Dolls of Light, and they sell very legitimate dolls, but they are legit. They are proper legit dolls, but they are brilliant sellers, and they'll advise you and talk to you about them as well. So it's not just like they're selling them, packing them away. They write letters, they do all sorts. You know, they send you crystals, they send you sage sticks. So yeah,
That's nice. Do you have a question, Luke or Angela? For
Amy has WhatsApped me a question, even though she was sat next to me.
Amy
She said,
saying,
do the dolls react to strong emotion from other people around them?
yeah. So I had a breakdown a couple of months ago. As I say, can't say names just because of a bit of bullying on TikTok, and it did destroy me because I was being slandered quite bad. And obviously it's my page name that I built on in remembrance of my dad as well, which is why I did the page. So I had a bit of a breakdown and things got a bit bad. And Chloe, my doll I just showed you, was flashing her ball non-stop.
Oh.
And as soon as that reaction of me cheering up and started to sit there and be like, okay, well, Chloe's here. And even in myself, like, come on, Emily, pick yourself up. You're doing what you can. You know, you're creating your page, you're creating content. Cheer up, you know, take no notice of what people are saying. And she stopped. So, yeah, she's gone off my emotions massively. Like when I've cried about my dad as well, not just sat here and I've had a cry about my dad. And I miss him, you know, I do.
yeah, of course.
And yeah, she has flashed as well, yeah. They definitely pick up on emotions.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Jonathan Shaw's, but how do you vet the dolls before you bring them in?
How do I vet them? Like check them?
Check them, yeah.
So basically, I will, with like the doll sellers, I'll have a look and I'll read their stories, who they are, who they was, ages, names, and stuff like that. And I think obviously because it's got the positive stamp on it, and I read their story and I get to know a bit more about them before I bring them into my home. So I have to get to know them before I really bring them in. As I said, there is a few dolls I don't really know anything about, just names, no ages or life stories, but they're the ones you work with, but they are positive. It's just that you've got to work with them because the seller doesn't have time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Mm.
Graham's, but there's a lot of films about dolls.
Yeah.
Which is your favourite?
Toy Story.
Love it.
No, in
love
all
it.
seriousness, Annabelle. I'd say Annabelle.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't mind Annabelle. Chucky's all right. Bit old school, but all right. But to be honest, I'm not really a horror fan. I must say, I've just gone to go and watch The Conjuring last rites. I told you, didn't I?
Yeah.
We tried getting you
Yeah.
tickets. You got
Yes.
the tickets and couldn't go.
Couldn't get there, could we? Yeah.
I felt awful.
We got stuck on the motor. It was a crash on the motorway and it was shut.
I had just got, yeah, that's it. I
And we
just gone
couldn't
and
get to
seen it. And
gutted. Totally
I
gutted.
posted everything about the good time we had, and there's Paul sitting there like, well.
Well, thanks very much for that.
So he didn't talk to me for about 3 months. No, I'm joking.
you went up to Leicester Square, didn't you, to see yours?
Yeah.
That
It
was
was
the Conjuring
great.
last rites, wasn't it?
Yeah, we went in 5D. It was amazing. The last bit nearly threw me off my chair, and I got off that pretty quick, and I felt possessed by the end of it, if I'm honest, with the shaking of the chair.
Yeah.
You know, I was convulsing everywhere. But yeah, it was great.
And what was your take on it?
It was all right, to be honest with you. I think the Conjuring films are good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Bill Wilkins was a good one with Enfield House, which I've actually been to and knocked on the door of
All right.
years ago. I think The Nun is good, but Annabelle, I didn't really find that great. The mirror spinning in the movie, I thought that was a bit much. And then there was, I don't know, it was more based on her daughter than it was anything else.
And would you investigate 30 East Drive? Sorry, Angela, I know you were going to say something.
We are going. We're
You
going
are?
next year. We had the choice to go this
Ooh.
year on my birthday on the 23rd, which would have been soon. But I chose to do Stephen's house because 30 East Drive has had so many people in it. I kind of think it's a bit overrated.
Yeah.
And obviously they had a priest in there not so long ago, didn't they, to go and bless the house. And people said there wasn't a lot of activity. So you're going to pay all that money, go over there and probably get nothing. But it's a chance you take when you're into it. But we are going to do it just to see what the buzz is about.
Yeah. And we will be having Emily on on our investigations. Don't worry. We'll get her there.
Wait. I can't wait. It'd be great.
We have some good investigations. We have some good times. We laugh a lot.
Yeah, brilliant.
Which is what we love. We love the laughing and.
If you don't laugh and joke, I don't know. I can't.
It raises the energy, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we do that, and we've like grown to be like a big family, really now, aren't we? You know, where we all know we're all there to help each other.
Yeah.
You know, bad times, and we're there helping each other in the great times. You know, we go forward.
Paul, you've been amazing as well with your wife. I mean, you've been absolutely amazing with everything, and obviously, like you've always when you come to me and ask me to come on here and everything like that. I've always been so honoured and grateful. So thank you so much.
Oh, don't be daft. We love to have you. It's been great to have you on here. Finally.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
It's a bit like when I did podcast for the radio. Did a radio show.
Yeah, that's it.
And it took over 4.5 months to record 1 hour because we started to do it one night and it was like 11 o'clock at night. You had to do it when the station was quiet. And the first time it ran, the mixing desk broke down, didn't work, which they'd never had before. So he said, I'll be back to you. So the engineer came out and said, oh, you need a new desk. So he put a new desk in. He said, give us a run again. We'll do it. So we wanted to get it recorded for Halloween.
Yeah.
So it went out on a live on Halloween night. Oh, and then something else happened, and then the speakers stopped working, then the monitors didn't work, then this didn't work.
Yeah.
It took about 4.5 months to do this 1 hour recording. So eventually we did it. He said, right, let's do it. Let's go for it. So he's asking the questions a bit like this, and we were talking about haunted roads, and one of the guys on there, it's an ambulance driver who's talking about his experiences of having people in the back of the ambulance and go missing.
Yeah,
out
that's
the back
insane.
when they get to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever listened to it. Go on and try and listen. It's on Crawshaw Radio. So go on there and listen to him and his encounters of the ambulance when he's out and about with the ambulance. And they stop and pick a woman up and she gets in the back and they take her to what they think is a hospital. And when they get there, she's gone. She's not in the back of the ambulance.
That's
She just
insane.
disappeared. That's incredible. But he has a lot of stories like that. It's really
you mentioned
incredible.
about the radio a little while ago, and I'll make you guys laugh because he goes to me, he messaged me, he goes, I'm going on the radio and you want to tune in. And I was like, I've never been on the radio. He's like, no, not you, me. And I was like, because I get cross-wired because where I'm so busy as well, and I've got the two boys, and I get tired easy.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually get to listen to that night. And next time you're on, I'll come on and listen and that with you, and like when you're live and that. But the trouble is with me, I'll do everything. I'll do the paranormal at home. Like I'd go out and I've got investigations coming up. But a lot of the time I sit there and I've got my two kids and it gets so busy.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I get tired easy and I get worn out. And but I promise you I will see your next. Only if you have me on there though.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll always be on. You're always welcome back to the Monday Night Live.
Yeah,
we'll have you back on, talk about your investigations anyway. So
well, yeah, this is it. I want to come back on. You know, it'd be nice to talk about. I mean, I've got there's so much to talk about. You know, it goes on and on and on. But it's just
your
an honour
cat
to
balls
be
really
here.
flash, don't they?
What's that?
Them dolls really react. You can see the cat balls going off all the time behind you.
Can you? Yeah. I wonder who was it, top shelf or bottom shelf?
Top shelf. You seen that, Luke?
Yeah.
Top shelf, roughly the middle.
Lainey, was that you, Sophie? Yeah, I've got their names on there. For one, I have forgotten a bit. Don't get me wrong. The dogs like Chloe and I don't really need them on there, but they're on there because when I'm on my TikTok and I make my videos, I don't go live. I don't even go live. Not a lot. I used to. But a lot of their names are on there for people to see who they are when I'm working with them. So someone can say, well, can you get Lainey, Sophie, or blah, 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 and I'll sit them on the floor and they'll be there. So I haven't done that yet, but I will do. But they do interact a lot. They do.
Yeah, but say we can see the cat balls going off all through the interview. So quite incredible.
Yeah, they're
really,
amazing. I love them all. I mean, to be honest with you, it's just an interest of mine, aside from being a mum and a busy mum, you know, it's just an interest of mine. I sit here some nights and I'm indulged in it like chocolate. I can't stop. Once I start, I can't stop. You know, and then before I know it's 5 o'clock in the morning, I've only got like 2 hours sleep. You know, but yeah, I do love it.
It's great. Angie, do you have any questions?
Yeah, there's still more questions coming.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, God.
Graham's put, do the dolls get into your dreams or nightmares?
No, do you know what? There's one thing I haven't had happen. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I've had random dreams, and I've sat there and thought, well, maybe one of them's got into me dreams and that. But no, not really. I've never had any nightmares, and I don't go to bed in the terms of feeling on edge. Like I quite happily lay in bed, and I have my feet tucked out at the end of the duvet, and not scrunched in, and I'm quite relaxed. I just have my door shut.
And the padlock on and the chain. Jonathan Shaw's put, have any of you visited Nottingham to investigate? If so, where? Nottingham. No. I've not been. Where did I go? Not Nottingham, but somewhere not far off. But I've never been to Nottingham, so hopefully once we're on the travels, and then we can come up there at some stage. We're heading up slightly up north in a couple of weeks' time to do some bits and pieces for a company. So keep an eye on that because that will be coming on. But so, Luke, do you have a question for her?
Yeah. Do you think they leave the dolls and travel places?
Definitely. This is one of the things I have spoken about in my videos, and people don't realise. A lot of people say to me that they're within the doll. They're not. They're around it. Yeah. So a lot of the times the dolls, when they're active, they're not always active, and they can descend up to 2 weeks, to 3 weeks, to 6 weeks, to a year.
Yeah.
You know, I've had Chloe go as long as 1.5 years, and I thought I've lost her. She's gone, and I've sat there and I've panicked, and I thought, well, maybe she's moved on. I sit there out of any night. I can just sit there and the ball will start flashing from nowhere. And then it'll be continuous to let me know they're back. But they do descend. It's like us. If you've got to think about it, just because they've passed away and they've attached to a doll, doesn't mean to say they've always got to be there. Like to think they've gone and visited family that have passed on, or their grave sites where people go and lay stuff and they can look at. And I sit there and think, well, at the end of the day, are you always on your chair or at the table? You know, do we always do that? We go out, we do things, and it's the same. People seem to forget that around the doll, when the spirit's attached to them, just because they're gone, that doesn't mean to say that they're there haunting that all the time. They are no different to us. They've just passed away, but they lived this life the same way we did. They're still human. They're just not in the form of a human anymore.
They're just energy, aren't they?
Energy, yeah. And we're all that before we're born and after we die.
Well, absolutely. Graham's, but do you have 27 extra seat belts in your car?
Well, I haven't got a car that big yet, but I'm looking at it.
Looking at a coach.
I am, yeah. Big old Catherine's coach, maybe, you know.
That's what you needed to pull them all around.
Yeah, well, I've got a Ford Fiesta at the moment, and I don't think they'll all fit in there. Maybe the roof, but we'll see.
You never know. You could set a Guinness World Record for amount of haunted dolls in a car.
Do you know what made me cool? That'd be the next challenge.
And do the dolls interact with your sister? You mentioned your sister.
Yeah, they don't interact. I mean, a lot of the time I've had people here, like I don't have a lot of people in here anyway. It's not that I'm unsociable, just a very private person, apart from my TikTok. Other than that, I've had people come in here and try and talk to me and they've had nothing. And that's when the non-believing comes in and they go, that neighbour down there, she's nuts. They go, nothing, you know, and actually they do. But they respond, I think they get to know you as you are in a person. I mean, I put a spirit chat to a little one that you'll see up there, Grace, and she come out on a spirit box the other day, trust. Now she's got to trust, she's brand new and she's got to trust me. I know, but I'm very back and forth with the spirit boxes and things like that. I mean, I paid 184 quid for this device. I'm not saying I don't believe it, but sometimes I sit there and I think, well, they're just a load of random words. And I don't use phone apps and things like that. I only use a bell on my phone, which is very good, on an app that I've got. Spirit Bell, which is very good. Other than that, I mean, I did have a session with Blaney, which is the one next to the girl on the rocking horse up there, and I did do a session with her with the spirit chat and saying that she actually died in a fire at 4 years old with her sister and her dog. And when I had a session with her, next to the box, in the box, come up fire.
Oh wow!
Lights, and her basically the lights were her dad put Christmas tree lights in their bedroom, and they caught fire, and it was a house fire, and they died. So she put lights and fire. Wow. So I'm not saying I don't believe it. It's just sometimes when you're with it, it's a lot of random words that spill out. And sometimes you like, you know, when you want the real evidence. Yeah. You know, like all the stories that come with them. I don't always believe the stories that come with them. And some of them you look at and you think, good God, that ain't. You know, you do. I think anybody would, but I think when you're working with them and then you're testing them and things come out about what's on the paper that you've been given, that's when you then believe.
Yeah. I think it's having that physical evidence, isn't it?
Doris,
but any chance we can see them closer?
Yeah, of course.
Take your time.
Put my big light on.
Take your time, no rush.
There we go.
By the way, love your Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, got me presents under there already.
You're so organised.
I am. I'm terrible. So this one, as I say, is my longest. But yeah, these are a lot of these. I mean, she's 4 years old. She's 4 years old. She's 10. It's just a lot. Him, Felix, he's very cheeky. My son was ill the other night and he kept flashing. I had to call an ambulance for my boy because he had tonsillitis and flashing. As soon as I called the ambulance, he stopped. Yeah, there they all are. I've even got a border collie in spirit. There you go.
There you go. Hope that you saw that all right, Dora. It's interesting, isn't it?
I'll turn the light off so it don't scare you all. Here we go.
Any questions, Angela?
Yeah. Do you have any particular locations you really want to investigate?
There's so many that I want to do. I mean, I want to investigate my block of flats. Everyone in here keeps asking me to do these flats.
Oh.
And I think way before I did get the goals and they started blaming me, bless them, lovely neighbours. You know, we all get on, it's all right. Oh God, sorry, that's karma. I think this was a milk factory before the flats, and then obviously it was an old pub before it was a petrol station. So there's a lot of history here. Where I am from, like Kenley, obviously, I don't like to say that, I shouldn't say that, but no one really knows the location of where.
No, you're fine.
Like putting the phone out the window.
No, you're fine, honestly.
But it is known, isn't it, Paul, as you know, for like a war, a lot of history of army and stuff like that up here and stuff.
Very much.
I do want to investigate the flats, definitely, because people have said in the past before, as I say, I got my goals. They've been touched and they felt things and heard things. And so I do want to investigate these. Not the top of my list though.
No.
I think
what would be on your top? What would be your top 3 locations? I would love to do. I would absolutely love, but you can't because they won't let you. I did knock on a door of one I just said. What was it? The Bill Wilkins East Drive. East Drive.
It's the other one.
Enfield.
Enfield. I knocked on their door. I was picking up a table set with my friend Ali, and I knocked on the door late at night. And this woman come to the window of exactly where the happenings was in that room. Right. And she peered round. She looked at me, and I went, "I really need the toilet." I was like, "I really want to go." I was like, "I'm picking up a table from down the road." I was like, "We're lost," and she's like, "No." I was like, "Okay." But I got back in the car and my friend looked at me and he went like that. He went, "I don't believe you. I can't take you anywhere." I went, "Look, it's a one-off chance. You know, we never get to do that again." Yeah. You know, so I'm a bit of a risk. I take a risk. But I'd love to do that, Bill Wilkins.
Yeah. I think we all take a risk, don't we, in the paranormal?
You've got to.
It's the passion, isn't it? It's the drive behind it.
If it's not there, if you haven't got the passion and it's not there and it's no interest of yours, then it's just not for you, you know? And I think you have to go that stretch to be able to want to, if you're that into it, to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm nuts. I will.
We're all nuts. You're looking at 3 other nuts on there, to be honest.
I know.
We've been doing it for so long
all
now.
Lovely nuts.
I hope so. Any more questions for Luke? And oh, here you go. All blimey. Dora's put maybe a bit of an odd question, but you have changing of. Hang on. Do you have changing of clothes for them, like getting them changed in different clothes, like as we all girls played when we had small dolls? Do you have a change of clothes? Basically, Dora's asking for them.
The ones that I've just bought, I won't. But Chloe, I have changed her clothes only for the fact that when I got her, I washed her dress and I put it in a tumble dryer and it ruined it and it shriveled the dress. So I had to go and buy a new one, which was actually from Smith's Toy Store in the Generation Doll section. So luckily it fit. Other than that, no, they're all original. But Chloe has forgiven me. It's okay. You know, she hasn't haunted me or anything. It's fine. I think she likes it. If not,
she must like it.
A bit better than her old dress anyway. So
a small one.
Yeah, you know. Other than that, no.
Any other questions, Angela?
Well, I've got a photo from one of the TikToks because obviously videos aren't working.
Yeah.
So I'll put that up and then maybe you can sort of talk us through that one.
Yeah. Yeah. That I was at my sister's. I had the camera on, and as my camera detected it, I put the alarm on my camera and the alarm went off. And as I looked and I was going through the video, as the video stopped, that apparition appeared. And I looked back and I said to my sister, "That's a little girl in a dress, and you can see her legs and her feet. You can see her dress and you can see her white collar." and
Yeah.
she resembles my Chloe. Now, Chloe has shown herself to me before, and that is exactly how Chloe looks. So I've had 4 times I've seen Chloe like that in the time that I've
Oh
had her.
wow,
So that's Chloe.
that's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, she showed
When
herself
I
really
looked at
clear.
that earlier, I was sort of looking at it close up, and I was like, I
Mm.
can't see a thing here. But now I'm like at a distance,
Yeah.
I can clearly see that it's like
Yeah,
the head and then the sort of like a white dress with a high collar, and
yeah,
it's like, I don't see it now.
yeah.
You look close,
think-
you can't see
Did you
anything,
know
but
when a lot of people take pictures and other things, I mean, it can be frustrating as well. And I'm sure you all know, when you take something and you want people to look at something and they don't see it and you only do.
yeah,
And you can sit there for hours trying to convince someone what it is and they don't see it like that. And that can
Yeah.
be quite frustrating. But when you actually take your eyes off it for about an hour and look back, you
yeah.
might just see it. But I think I'm not gifted, but I have been told that my veil is very thin as well. So I'm able to see a lot more than what I should,
Yeah,
which is why I can point it out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
nice. That's
that's
a good
it. I mean,
photograph. It's a well caught one, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, it's mad. It is mad. I
Luke,
did have
any questions?
I had another photo like that. I think I showed you, Paul, and it was of a little girl.
That's right. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Graham's put. Have you asked them anything to see if they answer on a voice recorder? So ask the question and then record. See if you can get a response.
Yeah, yeah. Chloe, at the moment, all the ones that I've got, as you see behind me, are all quite new. So I haven't actually had time to do all them yet. But Chloe is the only one I've caught a voice of. Saying that, actually, Vera, I had another doll that come with Chloe. Remember me telling you at the beginning, I had Chloe with 2 others. Vera was 89 years old. She went to someone on TikTok. I can't bloody remember their name. His name's Nigel, but I can't remember his page name. I'm sure it's the Ghost Whisperer's Arms. The Ghost Whisperer's Arms. He's got one of my vessels.
Okay.
And I was recording one day and I got called a gold digger. You could just hear it on the thing, and I'm not sure what I said, and I tried communicating with her, and I put the recorder on, and all you could hear was gold digger.
Oh.
And I was like, you cheeky mare, she's been married 3 times, how dare you? So I got rid of her. We just didn't get on.
Sent her on her
So,
way.
yeah, I was like, how dare you ruin my fun and tell everyone? So yeah, she ended up going.
Can't have that.
I want
can you?
everyone know my secrets, Paul and Ange and Luke,
How funny. There you go, Luke, the gold digger. You ain't got
What do
the
you think
gold
I've been
digger, have
able
you,
to
Luke?
afford all these dolls?
Any more questions? Brilliant.
Yeah, I just thought of a question. How much would you pay for a doll? Like, what's the sort of price range, and what would make it worth money or not?
So Chloe was £15 to start with when I got Chloe, and they range between anything between 20 to 25, maybe £18, 20 to £18. One of the ones I've got that I bidded on, which is this lady here, who's 70. This one, who's 76. I did that, by the way, guys. She's actually meant to be a poltergeist. I have heard her tap on the wall, but she hang on a minute. She was 60, I think, or 40 odd quid on bid. I wanted her so bad I kept bidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like you do.
As you do, when you're determined to get something in your house. That's it. Yeah.
What about yours, Lou? What value would you put on yours? Or how much did you pay for yours?
Yeah, a similar price, like 20 to 30 or something like that usually.
So that's about the average price of a haunted doll, is it?
You have to be really careful with haunted dolls as well, and this is what people have got to watch for, because you'll get a lot of haunted dolls that people put up for about £1,000 to 800 to 900. Now, that then indicates that, for one, you're just after the money, or 2, it's a really, really haunted doll that shouldn't belong in a house in a museum.
Yeah.
So when I see a really expensive doll, that don't interest me, because it's either got nothing with it and you're just doing it for that. And a lot of times people will sell dolls genuinely for that, because it's easy money. I could go and buy a load of haunted dolls from a charity shop and claim that they are haunted, and they are not. So which is why I have genuine sellers.
Yeah. Sellers that you trust.
Absolutely, because you've got to be so careful in the world of eBay and Amazon and things like that, because people do. Christmas is coming as well each year when it's Christmas time, and that I've seen more and more vessels put up for more and more money, and they make it as a really active haunted doll. But and another thing as well, if you're going to buy a haunted doll, always look not just at the reviews, always look to make sure that they have video evidence and a ball flashing and them talking. Always make sure there's video evidence or some sort of evidence with a K2 meter, because a lot of the time these dolls are so expensive and you don't see one of these with a doll. So when you see one of these and they're on and they're with a doll, you'll know that they're legitimate paranormal people. Okay, anyone can get hold of one of them, anyone. But you'll know by the price of the doll and the way that this flashes in a video, and the ball will go off when questions are asked. And that is what a lot of mine are. Just trust him.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Any other
Don't be
questions?
silly.
Yeah.
Christine Wells. Hi, Christine. How can you tell if a doll is haunted?
I think it's more, that's a good question, actually. I think it's more for the fact it's like when I bought, as I said, the doll from the charity shop that I got, I didn't know that was haunted. I never really got a vibe of it, but for some reason, something gave me the intuition to buy it and try it. So I brought it home. And I think when I brought it home, I put that up against it with a cat ball and I just started talking and it just started flashing. I think, and the only time you would really know, I think, is if you've got that kind of sense, as you can sense it. You can sense an atmosphere around a doll. And don't get me wrong, I have sensed it. I sense it with these. Last night I had a doll that was really active. It was setting off my dad's teddy bear. I put my dad's. You'll have to watch the video, but I put up a bear that my dad passed away with. I put the K2 meter up against it with a ball, and Janet on the end there was going up touching the bear, which was setting off the K2, and then she was splitting between the shelf and the bear. But I think the trouble is when you get dolls, it's knowing, it's having the initiative to feel it. And I have felt it. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, I've completely lost it there. So I did feel like the temperature drop in the room. I felt a cold chill. The windows are shut. I had my heating on. Like there's fluctuations in a room. You'll know when there's something there. So I suppose if you're going to look at a doll and you're wondering if it's haunted, it's just really it's a bit of a gamble. I'd say it's a gamble. You don't really know unless, as I say, you've got a sense to it, or if you're sitting in a room and someone's talking bad about you, like the elephant in the room, and you get the atmosphere, it's that kind of feel that you'll get from something.
Yeah, very true.
Cool.
Any other questions? Oh,
yep, they're still coming in.
Hi, Jamie. Evening all. Do a lot of dolls come with history, like their origin and their story?
Yeah. So a lot of my dolls all have a story. The only ones that don't are the ones that I've got from one of my sellers just recently, from Dolls of Light. And as I say, she doesn't have a chance to work with them. So she picks up the name with what she picks up with on a spirit box or what she finds out about them. And then you do the rest. So it's like an investigation, but it's a positive vessel.
Yeah.
You just don't know much about them. And that's for you to do. You do your homework. You want the doll, you do the homework, and a lot of them do come with stories as well. And, you do get a lot of information with them.
But it's interesting doing your own history with them, isn't it? I think that probably gives you a better connection with them, because they know that you're interested in what their life story.
Exactly. Yeah.
They
got to trust you as well, haven't they? You buy a brand new doll, and you're gonna, if you know it. I always feel if you know a doll with all its history, you know them already before you've met them. But if you sit down a doll that you don't know and you work with them, then they build a better connection, definitely.
I think it's the same as when you go on an investigation with spirit, isn't it?
Yes.
When you first walk in, spirit is trying to suss you out as much as you're sussing them out. They're not going to come to bad energy, are they? They think, well, that's a good energy, that lot, I'll go to them. That's really good. Yeah. But if you're negative, they're like, whoa,
It's like a dog, isn't it? And if a dog don't trust anyone and they think someone's bad, it won't go near or it'll bark at you. So it's the exact same as people. Everyone has intuitions of someone.
Yeah. You have to listen to it, don't you?
Yeah. That's why I stay indoors.
Great, but I wonder how much Annabelle is insured for, being the most well-known doll.
I haven't a clue.
No. I wouldn't
I'll
know
be
that.
really honest with you. I think that doll over time has been perceived to be something worse than what it was. I think over the years, and I think, but by the time, I mean, you think when Ed and Lorraine had, I mean, a lot of like the dolls that I've got have come from places that have been found with mediumship and stuff. And Ed and Lorraine Warren was a medium. They
Yeah.
found a doll, obviously, that had activity from a family home. The family mentioned it to them. They took it back, they locked it up, and they put it away. Back then, things like that were perceived differently to how they are now. So things back then, well, that's bad, that's done this, and that's thrown across the room, and it stood on its feet, you know, it moved and it talked, you know, and that then gets locked in the box. And over time, all that negative energy that people have put into that doll, with what's been said about it, then makes it a negative thing. So then it becomes automatically negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you put a lot of negativity into something, it then turns bad. It's like bringing up a kid and shouting at it constantly. That kid's going to grow up and it's going to have an understanding of hate.
Yeah.
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 Right?
Interesting. Ghost Dragon investigations. Why do dolls seem to be easiest vessels for spirits to dwell in?
I think a spirit can go to anything. Like I said this earlier, I made a video on my TikTok, and it doesn't even have to be a vessel. It doesn't even have to be a doll. It can be anything. It could be a plant pot. It could be a phone. It could be a Christmas tree. It could be a mirror. You know, at the end of the day, you could have your favourite car. You could have a nice cool Tina Mark II, and you'll die and you'll pass away, and you don't want to let that thing go, and you're sitting there and you're like, I'm not going anywhere, or you have it buried with you. You know, you can attach yourself to absolutely anything, but it's not so much of the attachment of what the dolls are attached to. It could be the fact of how that person died, if they were murdered, if they were killed, if they had died in a way where it was traumatic. So rather than going over to the light like a lot of people will that have had a peaceful life, or you know, anything like that, someone who's had a difficult life, or you know, died young, or someone that was killed, will cling on, and they will cling on to anything because they have unfinished business and they're not done yet. So it can be absolutely anything. The only reason why dolls are more commonly known, I think, for vessels is because, say for instance, me or you know, we pass away or something, and I'll attach myself to what looked like me. But I'll attach myself to a doll. They're more commonly known, but there is other things that are haunted. You know, you can get rings, plates, cups, God knows what. You know, fridge freezers. I'd like a haunted fridge freezer. You know, but it could be anything. No one really knows why.
Yeah, you'd never have the answer, would you?
No.
Angela's, Jonathan Shaw's put, there are so many places in Nottingham and Derbyshire that would be interesting, like the workhouse, the caves, and the courthouse, jailhouse, Nottingham Castle. Is that where the galleries of justice are, Jonathan? I think that's Nottingham. They call them the galleries of justice. I'm sure that's Nottingham that way. But that's supposed to be a really, really interesting place. So
Never been.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'd like to go up there. You know, we do a lot of hours down in the south of England and sort of up around Surrey and that area. So, you know, we'd like to move on up a little bit up the country, you know, have a go further up with the people we're in talks with. That may well happen. So, you know, we may well end up not moving, but investigating further up the country. You know, I've always fancied to go to Scotland, to William Wallace's museum. You know, I think that'll be very interesting because the castles up there are phenomenal in Scotland. So, at top of my list.
Up there too, though, isn't there, Scotland?
Yeah, but I think we would all like, if anybody's watching and they have the keys to Hampton Court or the Tower of London, we would be very interested in helping you out lock it up one night. So if you're watching, you'll have 4 people in here that would be very interested in helping you lock the Tower of London up one night.
Oh, absolutely.
It wouldn't be long getting up there. You just said the word and we'd be there within a shot.
Paul, you come and pick me up with Ange and Luke and everyone else. I'll be on.
We'll be off. We'll all be off to the Tower of London. That'll be an ideal place.
Brilliant.
Any other questions, Angela?
That's the end of questions, I think.
Yeah, go. So there you go, Emily. You can take a deep breath. So it just remains for me to say thank you so much. It's been so interesting giving us your time tonight and talking about the dolls and your experiences. It's just been brilliant. Luke?
Thank you.
now you've got someone to contact about dolls.
There we
Yeah.
go. All right.
There you go. You need
Made a new
information,
friend.
help. There's the
Yeah.
lady that you can go
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
So
Give me a
only
follow
remains
if
me
you
to say,
like, so.
only remains me to say thank you so much for tuning in, everybody
Thank you,
that
Paul.
tuned in tonight. And it's Emily, just stay on after, because we'll have the ending, and then just please stay on after for a bit.
What? I can't go now? No.
No,
Joking.
no. It's only 5 minutes. It's only a brief after 5 minutes, and then you can go
I'm
back to your
joking.
haunted dolls. So, as again, have a safe week. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. It's brilliant. I enjoyed it, and thank you again, Eerie Encounters. How can people find your page?
My page. How do people find my page?
Your TikTok page.
Oh, sorry. Just look at Eerie Encounters and you'll see a black and white picture of a little ghouly ghost next to a grave. I would show you, but I haven't got the picture on my hoodie on. Just Eerie Encounters, it's there.
So drop onto TikTok. Give her a look, a follow, a like, a share, everything. Interesting videos that come on there. So please keep your eye open for them. And again, thank you so much for coming on tonight and spending the time with us. So it remains to be say, have a safe week, everybody, and we will see you next Monday. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.